think we are now live 3 minutes early. Alright, now I gotta scroll down to the comments. Scroll. And we're here. Hey, and Terry's here already. What's up, John? What's up, Mr. Bissy? John from Seattle, Mr. Bissy from Pottsville, PA. What's up, Dano? Everything sound all right? What's up, Kurt? Great Vanzini, Corey's Garden, Bob the Ogre from San Antonio. Of course, all ogres from San Antonio. Just general knowledge. What's up, Baltimore? Miami, Brian. Hey, Hank, what's up, buddy? Hi from Germany. I just got back from Germany. Australia. Terry. Everybody. What's up, Pete? What's up, Chris? Now it's going a little. Now it's going a little faster. Sounds good as always. Good. That sounds good. Yeah, I'm running a very minimalist setup. With the drive set at like 0. Still pretty crunchy though. What's up, Jeff? Cowtown? What's up, buddy? John Doe? Ed Axman? Nihilus Trucker? Peter Brown? I know, 1 p.m. I mean 1 a.m. What's up, Dan from Ohio and Peter from Chicago? Yo. And Ron. Ron, he's here pretty regularly. Same with Tony. What's up, buddy? What's up, Tactical? Greetings from Shenandoah Valley. What's up, Mike from Shenandoah Valley? Doing well, Mitch. Thanks for asking, buddy. What's up, Toe from Germany? Just got back from Germany. Time for the AC to be turned on. Yeah, we just got our AC fixed. That was like a major problem hanging out over our head. Was our central air was cooked, and I was dreading that. And it turned out just to be the fan and nothing beyond the fan. So it was under $500 to fix it. You know, brand new fan. Hey, Rob S. says, hey, Steve, I got married last night. Well, congratulations, buddy. Get Patreon, you host. I loved him. You know, that's a great idea. I you know what? I got to figure out the tiers, but I think I'm going to be the last person on YouTube with a Patreon account, right? I mean, who amongst my friends doesn't have one? What's up, Sila from Croatia? Greetings. How did you like Bamberg? My mom was born and raised there. Really? I thought it was way cool. It's as I understand it, one of the few cities that survived World War II, so it wasn't all bombed out, and so some of the really old buildings are still intact, and you can see it. You know, we went to one restaurant. I think it was like 400 years old. We went to a pub that was established like 1549, I think. How's the jet lag? I love that guitar. Thanks, buddy. Jet lag wasn't I love this guitar too. Jet lag wasn't too bad. Mainly at night, right? Because the nighttime would come, and for me, I was like 6 hours ahead. I'd be like, why is it 8 o'clock at night? In the morning, I'm all awake. I'm like, this is crazy. I'm so refreshed in the morning. And then at night, I would just be dead. But it's starting to catch up. It takes like a week. It really does. My AC for the upstairs part of the house is still being fixed. Yeah. You just put a nail through the Freon line. Oh man, that's the worst, because you got to fix the line, and then, you know, you gotta fill the line back up again, and that stuff's not cheap. You know, that was my biggest fear, was that like I had popped a line or something and it was just dead. My biggest fear was that the compressor was gone. You know, that's like a couple of grand versus a couple of hundred, you know, for just the fan. So I was really happy that it was just the fan. Thinking about buying SRV Signature, any thoughts? Yeah, a buddy of mine bought one of the first ones. It's like, it's with the Pau Ferro fingerboard. It's like one of the few guitars that actually had Pau Ferro like for 20 years now, right? Since like the early 90s. Because when it came out there, USA made guitar, as far as I know, unless they've switched to Mexico, but I don't think so. I think they're still a USA made guitar. And they're nice. You know, it's a killer guitar. The one I didn't feel like, unlike the Jeff Beck, which the neck is a little beefy. Right, you either like it or you don't. The SRB, the neck is just like a regular old Strat neck, you know. What's up, Padre? Thanks, buddy. No, you're the man. You are. What are your favorite strings, Steve? Well, I've been using clear tones for a while now, but I gotta say, I met the Roto Sound guys, and the guy Mikey Demas, who's a really, and this is a compliment. I know this doesn't translate around the world, but in Boston we'd say he's a hot shit, and that's like a very, very high compliment where I'm from. He is, though. He's a nice guy and funny and, outgoing, and, pleasure to hang out with. And he uses Roto Sound. So I got a pack of his strings. Came in a little care package from the Roto Sound folks. I might give those a whirl. What's up, Guitar Techs from Virginia? Buddy says, what's up, ASM Studio B? Some of these names are a little hard to read. Buddy Bishop says, thoughts on Panama amps. Panama amps, I've always liked them. I have friends who have a love-hate relationship with them because they like the way they sound, but they've had technical issues with them. I haven't had any technical issues with my amps. I can just say, honestly, like, all of my Panama amps work. I haven't had a problem where I've had to have the amp fixed. But I've had friends that have had problems, and I guess repair service has been a little tricky. So, I don't know. I've heard that from more than one person saying, like, they got a Panama and they were having trouble with it, and it was hard to get it serviced. So, I don't know. They're pretty simple tube design. I'll bet you could take it, to any amp repair place and get them fixed. But I think they sound good. I thought the Loco was a really good amp. I really like the Loco. And I like the Fuego X. The Fuego was, I think, maybe a little too bright or dark. I forget now. One of them. So the Shaman might have been the one that was a little too bright to start, and they fixed that with the second Shaman, the Shaman 2. And then the same with the Loco. Not the Loco. The other one there, the Fuego, and the Fuego X. Snames. Thanks, Michael. Live stream with the best X head. Yeah. I had him going out in Germany with it. But yeah, so Panama, you know, I don't know. They seem to be really like on fire for a while, and they seem to be a little bit quieter. I think they ran into a bunch of problems. The owner had some health issues. I think they had a problem with one of their plants, like caught fire. So you know, they've seen some adversity. Yeah, Ron says he has a Fuego X, no problems. Yeah, see, same here. I've had no problems. So it's, you know, because people want you to gang up, you know, because they're having problems, and they're like, yeah, they suck, and I'm like, yeah, I haven't had problems. Sorry. If I do, I'll let you know. But for right now, they're still working. But I like the Hughes and Kettner. This one I've been playing a lot. So you see a guitar pick right there, because I've been plugging into this one and running it through the Panama 212. Sounds pretty good. I'd like to run it with some nice, you know, like creambacks or greenbacks or dreambacks or one of those backs. Steve from England, what do you think about British amps? Well, of course, the Marshall's a classic. The Victory stuff seems to be pretty good. I really like the orange stuff and the orange guys. When I met them out at Tegu, plugged through a few orange amps. And I played through a couple of Laney's while I was there. One that was like a 15 or a 30 watt, like super clean amp. And to get it to break up, we had to like break our eardrums. And then the other one was like a compact, like almost like a little tech amp, right? It was like a ridiculous amount. It was like 300 watts, which we had to run it between, the cab we had was only like a 75 watt cab or 100 watt cab, so we had to run it between 0 and 60, or 1 and 60. And then there's a 60 to 300, and he said, just to be on the safe side, let's just not run it there. But yeah, it was the Laney was like ridiculously nice, and it had like 4 different gain stages, so it was pretty crazy. It was a very, you know, solid state with a tube preamp, or a new tube. I forget what they were using, but they were using something like that, either a 12AX7 or like a new tube. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. I mean, you know, so there's just some British amps. I mean, I don't know if the Orange is still being made. I think all their rock reverbs and their high-end stuff, that's all still being made in the UK, right? Or is that like all Chinese now? But I don't think so. I think only their solid state, like the Crush and stuff like that, that's Chinese made. Cool Harley Benton said Tillman's name. I did. In fact, we did a Hunter from Agu, you know, from Agu Fish Channel. He and I, we got like 2 Tillman, like we got like a Tillman Telly and a Tillman PRS, and then we went and got like Fender Custom Shop Telly and PRS, like total high-end custom shop, you know, custom 24 or whatever the hell that was, just to see, you know, how did they compare to each other, and the results were surprising. Frog Amps, any thoughts? Don't know much about them. I can't say I've ever played through them, but I'm going to Summer NAMM. If they're at Summer NAMM, I'll check them out. Hey, what's up, Sean? He says, yeah, the big oranges are UK made, Terras and Crushes are made in China. Steve, how did you like the German beer? Really like the German beer. So Germans have a few different styles. Mainly, I thought they're, Pilsners and Hefeweizen, which is an unfiltered wheat beer. It's really a yeasty beer, very bready and yeasty. I really like those. They're cloudy, very straw in color. They have a decent head on them, and they're not super bitter. The Pilsner's a little bit more bitter. It's clear, pours clear. It's a little bit more bubbly. It's brighter. It's a drier beer. And then they have a thing called like Hell's beer, which, it sounds awesome, but it really just means bright. And then it's like that's just like a brighter beer that's hard to explain, but not quite a Pilsner. It's it's a little bit more not fruity. That's more like the Hefeweizen. Hefeweizen. That's that's like it has more like fruity notes to it than the Hell's beer, but they're both good. They're all good. I'd say I'd like the Pils the least. That was the most bitter. And, I don't know. I like my beer a little cloudy. I don't know why. It feels more full-bodied, I guess, that way. Sean says, Steve, we should do a beer and gear live stream. I tell you, I'm getting into the beer. I toured Germany in 2002. They weren't big on refrigeration. That's like, yeah. My room, I could not get the air conditioning to turn on, and they basically said, yeah, it's just not quite warm enough out for it to happen. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I'm like roasting. And they were like, yeah, well, it doesn't help that your particular room is one of the hottest rooms in the hotel. It faces the sun for like all day, and it's on the top floor. We can move you down to the bottom floor on the shady side of the building, and I'm sure the room would be a lot cooler. And it was like 15 to 20 degrees cool. I was like, oh my God, what a difference. So once we did that, the hotel was just sort of okay. The problem is that, they did this sort of late, and it was a holiday weekend that weekend. It was hard for them to find, a hotel for everybody. So that's why we were at the budget hotel. But it was fine, as long as everything works, and it does. Thoughts on Rob Chapman 8-string Chapman, Rob Scallon 8-string Chapman. It's a killer guitar. I can only play the 6-string one. The 8-string one is just too much for me. It's just a little too much for my hand. What's up, Joseph? Good evening. So you get a dinner table right now on Savannah Jenna. Rock on, Steve. Yeah. Rock on, Mitch. Enjoy your dinner. I'm in Austin, Texas. I'm here by neighbor. I apparently remind a lot of people of their neighbor. Why was it so hot at Tolman's? Because they don't have central air conditioning in that place, or if they do, they won't turn it on. So, the rooms were just full of all this gear and lights and amps, and those rooms were getting up, over 100 degrees pretty quickly. So they eventually got, not eventually, they actually pretty quickly got these portable air conditioners, and they would just blast the poor people out in the hallway, because you know what happens, right? If you're blowing cold in the room, you're blowing hot air out somewhere. So it was going down a, a big, looks like a dryer vent pipe, a plastic dryer vent pipe, and it just went like, out into the hallway. And the poor people in the hallway. Your help here is less bitter, not much hops. That sounds about right. That sounds about right. You hard work, brah. Dude, you have no idea. I've had so much stuff going on lately. As soon as I got back from Germany, the first thing I had to do was mow the damn lawn. And take care of a bunch of stuff around here. And, like I said, the central air wasn't working. That's working now. That's super awesome. But then we had a light switch up on the second floor just like stop working, and I don't like to mess around with electricity, and I have a really good electrician. This guy is awesome. And he came by today, and right before he came by, like, it sort of fixed itself sort of very slowly, like in front of me, and it was affecting this other light that's really not a part of it, and it was like really pissing me off, because it almost looks like, when another appliance lights up very slightly, that very often means that it's getting voltage down the neutral, right? I mean, that's just bad wiring, and you start to shit your pants because you're worried, is my house going to catch on fire behind a goddamn wall some night while I'm sleeping, right? I don't need that sort of, right, in my life. I don't need that. So I'm looking at this appliance, and I'm wondering why this is lighting up ever so slightly, and this other one is, trying to turn on, and I am just like going, ay, you're killing me. So he came up, he opened it all up. He's like, no, it looks okay. He goes, unless there's a junction box up in here shorting somewhere, which it could be. He's like, it's looking all right from here, so we'll see. But, don't worry. That's why I have like a friggin' smoke detector in every room. Hey, what's up, Channel Guitar Skeptic? I almost said septic. Did you meet Nita Strauss? Seems like a nice kid. Yeah, super nice. And she had her new guitar, which I like that heartbeat inlay. I gotta say, I thought it was way cool, and it goes like right up to the frets. Nice little details. Nice ebony fingerboard, S-style guitar. I liked it. I thought it looked great. I'm sure it's going to be pricey because it's a signature. How's the spring weather in Beantown? Not too bad. It's been, not too bad, but we got the muggies yesterday and today. It got super friggin' muggy. It's only drying out right now. We had a, probably seem a little tired. We had a car wash today at one of the town lots, and I think it was $5 a car, and we pulled in $1,375. So I think they started at 9 a.m. I didn't get there till about 1, and I went until 3, and I probably saw it felt like 100 cars. It was pretty crazy. So yeah. I'm a little burnt, I think, from being out in the no longer septic. Good, that's good. Glad you got that cleared up. Now I have a lawn. It's a pretty small one, though. I can't bitch about mowing it, though I still will, but it's pretty small. Steve, do you dig the Ibanez AZ? Seems like a drastic departure. It's more 80s shredder. It seems like a drastic departure from its more 80s shredder-oriented stuff. Yeah, I think they probably have been trying to get away from the 80s shredding-oriented, shreddy. You know what I'm trying to say. They're trying to get away from that. And probably because, you know, it's sort of run its course. And they have enough models like that. So let's do something a little different. So, you know, they tried, like, some of those alternative models. What was it, like, was it Telstar or something like that? I forget it. They've had a couple out there. But, yeah. Yeah. I think it's a good move for them to be sort of like, you know, trying to go against the Elite Strat and the Sur Customs and stuff like that. They're like, yeah, we can make a soft-bodied Strat, S-style guitar. You know, make it real high-end, roasted necks and, you know, fancy woods and all that crap. And bring it to market at a very competitive price compared to Sur, you know, and these other boutique places. The only one who can probably, you know, compete with them on price would be Fender. Do you have any Danny 12 strings? I don't. You listen to that, Dan Electro? They're asking me for a 12 string. Not me, it's them. Just saying. Mugginess you're feeling now is nothing compared to how it was in Philly. Well, yeah, we hit a dew point of about, it's only 75, it feels 95. Pretty sure it's coming your way. No, it did come our way. We got, you know, it goes by the dew point. So the dew point was up around 70, 71. That's like stepping into someone's mouth when you walk outside. It's down to about 64, so it's pushing down from the north. They say by tomorrow it'll be 48. That's crispy dry. That's like, you know, that's like a crisp September morn. Justin, welcome back, bro. Thanks, buddy. Look at you. You want a little song? I'm so lonely. I can never remember the lyrics. I'm so blue, but not really. So that's from Team America, right? Hold on. I'm gonna call up the lyrics. Oh yeah. All right. Oh yeah, F sharp. I'm so lonely, so lonely, so lonely and sadly alone. There is no one. And then to C dominant 7. Yeah. I'm sitting on my little throne. And on the dominant 7. B major 7. I work really hard. And I B flat minor 7. Make great plans. And nobody listens. No one understands. No, major 7. No one understands. 2 dominant 7. Okay, so no one listens. No one understands. And nobody takes me serious. Dominant 7. That would make sense. I'm so I gotta think, you know, there's gotta be a turnaround there, right? So you end on that dominant 7. Seriously. Yeah, to the 2. I knew it. I'm so lonely. To the 5. I knew it. So there's no way it's resolving like that. Anyway. Hey man, love prog rock. Can you play some, my friend Pixie? Not really. You know, prog rock took effort. You know, prog rock, it took a level of dedication. I mean, I'm singing soundtrack songs here, bro. When are you getting the PRS? I tell you, I've actually been looking a little bit. Shh, oh, my wife wasn't watching. I've been looking a little bit. When I went to Tolman, you know, I played a couple of PRSs that were like $15,000. I gotta say, it was a real eye opener. I was like, oh, huh, nice. I don't think I'll be going that crazy, despite generous contributions. But yeah, that was a nice one. Solid rosewood neck, and this like crazy. I think Pete Cottrell used it in a video. And there was another one, a Strat, that was like $15,000. It had like the body was like bronzed. Again, it seems like they just went full retard, you know what I'm saying? You know the song Season of the Witch? I can't say I do, sorry bud. What's Kiesel's resale value like? Probably not that great because they're all custom orders. It's a funny thing. When you get a custom order like that where everything's customized, you take a big hit because they're building it just for you. So you're paying a little bit more, even though they're very competitive. I think Kiesel and Carbon are very competitive with their pricing. But you know, someone will get it, they're like, oh, I love it, but I didn't want an ebony fingerboard, I wanted a maple fingerboard. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like they make it, you know, you have like one of the maple fingerboard X, you know, YZ releases. You know, it's all pretty much custom order. I mean, they have ones that are pre-built, but even those are sort of just like custom conglomerations, right? Just where they just checked a bunch of boxes and put one together. So that's all. It's I think that hurts it, believe it or not. I think that hurts it. Unlike a Strat, where they're like, you know, they have these production models, and a Strat is a Strat is a Strat, but even those take a hit. All new guitars take a pretty good hit. You know, unless they're so like a rare, you know, produced collectible, and even those, you know, you're probably waiting a while before you get your cash back on it. You know, in general, I would stick with stocks and bonds and not guitars. It was a very little window in the 50s and 60s where they've really gone nuts, but even the 70s, they haven't really gone that crazy, even though it's, you know, all that long, you know, quite a while ago now. Now you're hitting 40, you know, 40, 50 years, so. You know, any Joe Bonamassa songs? Not really. Right? Isn't that his Blues Deluxe? But he didn't write that song. Rod Stewart wrote that song. Right. Isn't that a Faces song? Something's killing my cucumbers in New Jersey. Got any ideas? And it's a cucumbers, huh? Sounds like they might be working underground. Perhaps a mole. I have no idea. See, just want to let you know that I'm a day one fan. Nice. First time I managed to actually catch you live. You know, that seems to happen every week. We always have someone who's like, I can't believe you're live right now. But I am literally live. I just read your thing, and it's an interaction. We're interacting, bro. Steve, which wah pedal would you recommend, Vox or Dunlop? I'm asking for a friend of mine. You know, they're both pretty good. Might be leaning towards that Dunlop. I'm probably more used to the Dunlop sound. I think the Vox is maybe a touch brighter. I love this sound. So this is a DV Mark, but I have a... I just turned it off. I just turned a tube screamer off. There it is back on. I think it sounds great. Thanks, Joe. Yo, finally made a live chat. Always fun. Cool Dano. Yeah, I like the Dano too. Sorry, I'm late graduation party. Well, I'm glad you could make it, Larry. We were all wondering, where the fuck is Larry? There you are. Yeah, that's an 80s Pacer. That's a 1983. Tokai guitars, or Tokai. Any opinion? I think they're great. You know, a lot of those Japanese-made guitars, pretty damn good. I think the Kai makes great stuff. I think In the Blues would say the same thing. I think he's a big fan of those guitars because they're well made. Someone just said that Sakai guitars are well made, so right? So there you go. Now you have to break the guitar, right? What do you think, Gibson? That's gonna get the hits. will do with Kramer when they restructure? That's a great question. I think they're going to keep them. I hope they do, because it's very different from the brand they have, right? So, you know, if you have, if you're a brand manager, you look at Gibson and you say that's one market, a traditionalist market that wants a round guitar with a square headstock, right? That's not the Kramer market. The Kramer market is the souped up Strat with a Floyd Rose and a pointy headstock, or the beak headstock, or some, you know, thing that's nothing like what Gibson makes. So I would hope that they would get the memo and say, you know what, this fills a gap in our lineup for people who want that style of guitar. Maybe there's not enough people that want that style of guitar. Maybe that guitar style has run its course and it's sort of over. Maybe that's how they feel about it. But I hope they would do what they did with Cakewalk, and that is sell it. Don't just fold it. And I don't think they will. I think they're going to see there's too much value in it. They're going to see that they've sort of revived the brand in the last 5 years, right? I mean, they've sort of brought the brand back a little bit. Keep that going, or at the very least, sell it to someone else who will keep it going. But maybe they don't want a competitor, and they just don't see the value in it. I don't know. It's hard to know, because the new people who, you know, are in power there are using Henry as their, you know, guide. So he may tell them, I don't think the brand is, you know, sustainable long term, and they'll either look to sell it or just fold it. I don't know. I'd like to see it be sold, but I mean, anything with value tends to get sold and not just put on a shelf. What are some good music stores in Boston? I haven't had time to check it out up there. I hope there's plenty of stuff for me to check out once I've settled up there. Well, there's, you know, it's mostly guitar centers, but the one you'll want to go to is, there's Axe Palace in Walpole. There's Matt's Music. That's a really good store in Weymouth. And probably Mr. Music or Mr. C's. This guy in Alston who has a pretty decent store. Everything else is sort of guitar center. Daddy's is gone. A lot of the, you know... Oh, the other good one, although, you know, you're going to have a car to get there, would be Music Emporium. I forget if they're in Concord. They're out on 128, but that's real high-end acoustic stuff. Real high-end. Someone's saying they don't think there's a big market for pointy guitars right now. It's either Kiesel's, newer stuff's like Kiesel, Strandberg. Yeah, I tell you, I played a Strandberg at Thoman and was impressed. I was like, damn, that's pretty nice. It's a weird neck. It's a blocky neck. It's a weird block neck that when you first pick it up, you're like, this is ridiculous. This is like over the top clownish. But the more you play it, you're like, you know what? I could work with this. This actually is pretty decent. It's actually ergonomic, as weird as it sounds. It's not for everybody, but I could see how you could get used to it and actually come to prefer it. Yeah. I think it was Strandberg, right, with the head. Didn't have a headstock. Someone says, so, tell us about Germany. All right, you know what? How's that? I think I can say here. Oh yeah. There we go. Actually, I want to go here, and I can pause that and go back. Here we go. It's it's like I'm prepared for school. This is my trip to Treppendorf. You might want to grab a drink or a beer or a beer drink. We'll do a little slideshow here. I think I can just go right, like right here. So this is just me back in Boston waiting to take my flight, and I just took a picture of the Frankfurt, and there I am in Frankfurt. I'm at the this is like 6 a.m. My flight just landed, and I'm waiting for like a 10 a.m. flight. There they are, loading up one of those big giant airplanes, I think they call them. Look at that. It's a double decker though. Look at the size of that thing. It's pretty huge. I think on the flight I took over, we had like over 500 people on the flight. There's the German airport. There we are, driving over to the see, it's a little overcast. So when we got to the hotel, they gave us a little, not the bag, the Samsonite bag is mine, but they gave us a little care package, which was a tiny little bottle of Nutella, a Treppendorfer beer, which I think is a Hefeweizen, and then a Shure MV88, which unfortunately is iPad only. So I think it will work with my iPad. Actually, it won't, because I have the old one. So I don't think it will work with any of my devices. Maybe I have to give that away or figure out something. Some people were using theirs, and they said it was pretty cool, that Shure microphone. There's a little close-up of the beer. And there's the Gearhead University sign. I think I'm right there. Steve from Boston. Oh my God. You got Adam Neely, Music is Win, Sarah Longfield, Spectra. That's everyone. That's where we would drink every night. And have breakfast every morning. That's the hotel eating and drinking area. There's a you see this back here? Those are the beers we would drink every night. We went out drinking the first night, then we found out the beers were comped as a part of our hotel stay, and we didn't go on after that. So cheap. Here we are, walking down to the city. Walking down. Walking. That's a pretty cool shot. You can see the sun's going down. We're heading towards downtown Bamberg. An old church. And again, heading down. Heading to the downtown. That's our first night out. It's obviously me with my mouth open for some reason. And maybe in solidarity with Glenn. And Trey, for that matter. See, she got the memo. She's like, don't open mouth. There's Adam Neely and, of course, Hunter from Agu Fish. And those are the good beers. Those are the Hefeweizen, which we love. Nice, moderate lacing. And this is the meal that Glenn and I, we split. It's for two. In the iceberg lettuce in here, that's actually horseradish. Sauerkraut, two different types of sausage and potato. Sausage, potato, and sauerkraut was pretty standard for Germany. Again, it was raining that night. You can see a little bit in the ground. It's a little wet. Cool shot. Again, at night. And there's the worst pour ever. So this was actually poured by Hunter Agu Fish. We were sort of fooling around. And this thing. Actually, I could probably look this way and be a little bit more in your direction. Yeah. Although if I look this way, it looks like I'm looking at the photo. Yeah, he went a little too brisk and paid the price. But you know what? I took the shot very quickly. It foamed way up. You know, in other words, the head didn't stay like that. But yeah, that was terrible. There's the beer behind it. He poured it himself. A little bit of farmland on the way out to Toman. We're on the bus. There we are, arriving on the first day. You can see it's still a little overcast. Maybe, you know, people filming other people. It's all part of one big film. There's my tiny head and a lamp. Takes a second to figure it out, but that's a lamp fixture from the ceiling, a big giant lamp fixture. There's, of course, the timpani room. Every serious music store has at least one timpani room. And the sax room. And the trumpet room. And the accordion room. Duh, of course. And part of the keyboard room just went on forever and ever and ever. So, lots of keyboards. Drums in the drum area. That was outside. It was really picturesque out there. And the frogs would go a little crazy. Definitely hearing some frog action. There's a little bit of old... you know, again, Bamberg was one of those places that wasn't bombed out. So, you know... stuff's really, really old. There's me and me. They put out the candy. Some people seem to live off that. See, they're doing that's like spätzle with some meat and gravy. Again, French fries and some meat. Salad with French fries. And that's mine, which is probably sauerkraut, some cheeses, and I don't know what the hell it is. It's pretty good, though. Mustard. I see mustard. And what else we got here? That's the building that's, like, falling over on the first floor. Like, the second floor is straight up, but the first floor, not so much. Again, you can sort of see it there. First floor is a little bit on the crooked side. It's like the Leaning Tower of, I don't know, Deutschland. And that's heading into the city. That's, what's his name? Ryan from, in the middle of that shot there. That's Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum. Again, a little bit downtown. Yeah, so they're like 1545. 1545. And just some downtown stuff. Old buildings. Colin and Max Solo, and Colin from CS Guitars. That was a smoked beer. That seemed to be a thing. Smoked beer. That was a thing. And I didn't try it. I smelled it, and that's all I needed to do. This is, of course, Trey attempting the seated crane. This one person wrote, when performed correctly, no one can defend. Guys from that pedal show, super nice. Swing. There's one of the exhaust pipes coming out of the room, you know, flooding the outside hall with crazy hot air as it tries to cool this room down. It just made both rooms hot. There they are in there, you know, they're roasting in there. The pedal room was one of the worst. The custom guitar room was really bad too. The PRS room I was calling the POS room because it was so damn hot in there. I get a little bit of the see, you can see the weather got better, right? Look at that. That's crisp. That's my kind of weather. That's when Stevie was like, me likey. A little bit on the drive out. A little bit. More drive out. I'm in the back of the bus. This was the dinner first night. I think I did a little live broadcast from that. If you haven't seen that, you can check out a little bit of that. Walking around. It's Adam Neely, the table. I'm sitting with Joe and Penny Morgan from Morgan Amps. Two of the nicest and coolest people. I mean, really. There he is. Hey, what do you know? There he is. There's Joe Morgan right there. And then the sign out inside there, you know, Memphis, Nashville, you know, Glastonbury and Liverpool, you know, all famous places. On the back it says Stairway to Heaven and Highway to Hell. Of course. That's one of the smoked beers. Their lunch of champions. It's like a Bounty, a Twix, a Kit Kat, gummy bears. Wash it all down with a juice. Nice. That's what I was having. Again, this is a very typical German meal, right? Meat with gravy and potato. Enjoy. That's from outside the kitchen. It's you know, it's funny because I posted a picture of this and I was like, you know, this is pretty nice countryside. He's like, yeah, that's very common. You don't have countryside like that. I'm like, we do, but a countryside about that size would be about like $4 million in my area. You want a yard that big and a house like that and a, you know, place for your horses? You know, you better dig deep, brah, because that kind of land ain't cheap around here. This was the Pilsner's beer. So this was the beer when they ran out of the Hefeweizen. We had to drink this. Again, you can see it's clear. It's a little bit more effervescent. I don't know. I didn't like the Pils as much as I like. It's drier, too. It's a drier beer. I like the Hefeweizen better. I'm going to go on record. There's one of the days on the bus. See this guy right here? See this dude right here? That's Jay Leonard J. This dude is so talented. He was the surprise hit, I think, of Tagoo. No one knew this guy, you know, but damn, super, super talented. That was one of my, that's like oven roasted goat cheese with honey mustard and then a pretzel, and it was like a salad with something on it. That's the main guitar room. You can see it's pretty big. That's just the guitar room. I mean, you already saw the accordion room. Here's me and Adam Neely. Well, I think he does a series of faces. Oh, yeah. Here we go. So, ready? We have, would you call that sassy Neely? Stern Neely? Angry Neely? Disappointed Neely? Sad Neely? Happy? Or, that almost looks like knowing Neely. And then, Mary jumped in on that. And here we are walking back from the kitchen. That's the kitchen up there. That big flying saucer ass shit. There's Hunter. And Pete. Trey. There's Jay Leonard J. Of course, Colin. And the guy from Hosa, Dylan. And behind my head here, sorry, is Melissa Henderson. These guys, little guys. Drunk much? No, not yet. We're getting there, though. That day. And this is, I think this was the final day. I think this was the final day because we're all out front going through and getting crap. Oh, yeah, so here it is on the, this is definitely the final day because I'm on the, this is, so check out the sea ice down there. We're at 38,000 feet. You see the sea ice down there, right? The blocks of ice, right? And so as we get closer to Canada, they start to get bigger. So check this out. This is like sea ice down here. It's like so enormous. Again, I'm at 38,000 feet in the air. And then right before we get there, look at the size of this. When I tell, again, and I can't stress this enough, I am flying at 38,000 feet in the air, okay? And this is what's outside the window of my plane. This is not zoomed in any way. You can see the bottom of the window here and here, right? This is the window outside my plane. And look at the size. I mean, if there was a ship down there, it would be a tiny speck because we're so friggin' high up. And look at the size of that sea ice. Just insane. Oh, and I think that's it. That's the last one. All right. And we're back. And I think I have to hit escape there. And then back to here. And here we go. All right. You know, my favorite beer is free beer. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, there you go. Looks like everyone's coming around. Thanks, Kurt. Hey, what's up, Cheddar Kung Pao? Cheddar was there, man. He was there, man. He saw it. Did you have any jet lag? Not on the ride out. For whatever reason, the ride back was nothing. But the ride here, the ride back, messed me up a little bit. Really at night, you know. So it's like it would get to be 8 o'clock at night, which was really 2 a.m. my time, right? Having flown back 6 hours. You get 8 o'clock at night and be like, why am I so tired? It's like, that took a little while to edge up. I think it's fine leaving, but my wife's about to leave for Poland. She's speaking. She's speaking in Poland, in Warsaw. So she's gonna have it when she gets back. I think she has to fly through France, through Paris. And he purchases. No, I didn't want to purchase anything when I was here. The only thing I bought was Kinder eggs because they're illegal in America. Can't get Kinder eggs. Although I think they're finally relaxing that a little bit because they're coming inside like special unswallowable holders. I don't know, but basically Kinder eggs are not really for sale here in the U.S. because of the choking hazard. But so I picked up my kids' Kinder eggs. They loved it. What was your favorite guitar you played in Germany? That's a good question. The Strandberg really stuck out. The that like $10,000 or $15,000 PRS, I have to say, was pretty nice. There was another PRS that was, I have no idea what it was. It was probably €10,000. That was pretty damn nice. A couple of the PRSs were nice. They had a like anything up in that custom shop was just amazing. Yeah, it felt like you were the only one in the room, and for a little bit there, Mike, you might have been. I think people were running off. That's all right. Yeah, exactly. I'll have the house to to myself. I can hook me up. Yeah, Bill. B. Plasky says I can hook you up with the Kinder eggs. I'll get you a supply. I could have sworn I saw them in a store recently, so maybe they relaxed the rule on it because they're now the toy surprise is like encapsulated, or I don't know. They need to put like a friggin' warning on it in America. Don't eat. If you had unlimited space on the plane, what would you have brought back from TG Way Tuning? Oh my God. Definitely that green fade PRS. Oh my God, that thing was so nice. And there was a Strat up there too that was sickly nice, like a custom shop, full on, mega relic Strat. And I've said it before. I don't really mind relics. I just don't like it when people take a polyurethane guitar and they beat the shit out of it, and they put it up on Craigslist for like $800 with like their custom relic, and it just looks like garbage. Or someone takes a really nice, AVRI, and they just destroy it. They have no idea what they're doing. They don't realize the time and the care it takes to really like age those things. But when Fender does it, and you're getting like one of their high-end custom shops, those guitars are freaking gorgeous. Really, really nice. And they know what they're doing, and they play like silk, like butter, as we would say here up in Boston. Played like butter, and it really though they are just a great feeling guitar. And they had like 3 or 4 different ones. One had a huge neck. It was clearly like a vintage, like 56 feeling. But some are older, like a 58, 59, thinner necks, and one was like a 62. Very comfy neck on it, my style, the type of neck I like. And man, were those nice guitars. I thought they were all damn nice. Steve, did you meet Nita Strauss? I did. I got a quick interview with her as well. I got to go through, we shot all that 4K footage, and I didn't take advantage of them doing a lot of the audio mixing for me. So that's why there hasn't been many videos except for the 2 where my audio is actually mixed. And I have ones where I don't need to mix the audio. I'll put those out. And then I have to get to I almost need like an automatic sidechain compression system to get this to work correctly, because either that or it's going to be like micro editing like nonstop. But either way, did you play the Sir? There was a Sir there in the custom guitar room. I don't know what it was made of. I'm going to call it ironwood because the thing weighed a ton. It's like one of the heaviest guitars. I did a quick video where I go through with a whole bunch of the custom shop guitars and just say which one should I buy. And that particular guitar, I remember when they handed it to me, I was like, holy Christ, the hell is this thing made of? I mean, just so freaking heavy. But it was nice. They're all nice. They're all super expensive. I don't think there was a guitar in the lot like under $5,000. I think they're all over $5,000. Any live concerts there? Just the party. They hired a band, and then people went up and jammed. And then the final day, a wonderful guy, Andrew, who I met there, and this guy Andrew Ferris, I think he's called the Guitar Geek. He wrote a tune I thought was kind of pretty cool, kind of hokey, but he'd be the first one to tell you it's hokey. And but you know what? It was a nice little send-off. I thought it was a great way to sort of cap off, the week. And then he got us to all sort of play on that at the very end. And I tell you, one piece of gear, now that it's on my mind right now, that was there that was way cool, and I don't know if it's out yet, is by, there's a company out there called Izotope, right? Izotope. Their like main claim to fame is they have a mastering product called Ozone that's been like sort of like a de facto standard for like 10 years now, right? So Ozone has been out there forever, and they have software for fixing bad audio called RX that's like unbelievably amazing, right? Like really, really amazing software. So, they've been in the software market. They have visual mixers and a whole bunch, like a synthesizer. They get a whole bunch of stuff. But really, when I think of them, I think of Ozone and RX. They came out with a new product, and it's hardware. Dum, dum, dum. Yeah, they're going into the hardware market. And it was this cool little thing. It looked like a freaking coffee cup, a coffee can, like a Maxwell House can, right? But a little bit smaller, and the top was slightly tilted, and it has a whole bunch of light logic on the top and like just a handful of buttons. And you can record yourself with a built-in microphone. It has built-in amps, built-in bass and acoustic and electric amps. And you can plug straight into it and record like a bunch of stuff like instantly, very quickly. And because it runs on batteries, you can do it anywhere. And it does like 8 tracks, and you can even mix down the 8 tracks. So we used it to cut that Goodbye TGU song at the end. And I gotta say, I was super impressed with the way it performed. You know, it's seamless, and it can work with your like iPad. I think Android support's coming later in the year. That company actually isn't very far from my house. They're about 40 minutes away. They're over in Cambridge. So I can just drive. They're on the other side of the city from me. I can just drive to the other side of the city. It will be my old stomping grounds because I worked at One Memorial Drive for like a number of years. So I'll take the T over to Kendall Square. It'll be like a bit of a nostalgia. Whatever's left, they've been tearing that whole area down like crazy, and MIT's been going nuts spending money. But yeah, I'm gonna go see Isotope over in the soft techno. They're like right behind Technology Square. I mean, it could not be any more of a tech area over in Cambridge. And check out Spire. I can't wait to get my hands on one. It was one of the products that really stuck out for me from TGU. The guy just had it in his backpack and kept showing it to us. I enjoyed the video with Melissa Henderson playing. Yeah, isn't she an amazing player? Huh? I mean, so young, and has really good feel and really good chops. She's going to be a phenom. Don't forget, she's still in school, so she's still in the learning phase. Her playing's only going to get better, and that's a scary thought. What are your thoughts on Line 6 Helix? I have a lot of friends who really love it. I have the software, and I love some of it, and I hate other parts of it. I think that their clean sounds are really amazing, but some of the distorted sounds are a little fizzy. But again, they'll work on that. It's so much better than it was version 1.1 or 1.0, 1.1. 1.5 is a lot better. Let's see what they do with 2.0, and I think, or at some intermediary release. But I think if they can, I think if the software, when the software gets better, I know the hardware will be getting better. But people love the hardware, and I don't know if I'm getting the same experience, software from hardware. But I have Helix Native. We've checked it out here in another live show. That is that particular one is a pretty good representation of it, though, because I probably had the input on it a little too gainy. See, when I go through TH3, TH3 wants it hot. It wants it as gainy as possible, but not when I go through, Axiom, right, or Helix. Yeah, those they don't like the hot input. They get all fizzy and crappy. I can switch up guitars. I can tell you what I have nearby me. Let's run down the list. I have an Ibanez Prestige RG3120. I have a Close carbon fiber mini travel guitar. And I have my Fender American Strat and Hot Rod Red with the solid rosewood neck. And I guess right there I have the Charvel. Right now. This one doesn't have the electronics working, and these are harder to get out. But this one, I'm still working on these switches. I don't like this switch. It's too sharp. I'm going to switch it out for a, I'm going to switch the switch to a rounded tip. Something that's not so hard on my hands when I'm flicking the switch back and forth. It's like it's a hazard right now. I'm seeing Ibanez. I'm seeing Prestige. Oh, Showman Blues, what's up, buddy? Steve, can you play us a song? I never hear you play Noodling there. Yeah, see, YouTube has a funny thing about copyrighted songs. They hit you with copyright strikes. So I, you know, if you don't hear me playing a lot of copywritten songs, it's by design, because you don't want to tempt fate. They're like, oh yeah, no, we're going to leave your video up. You're just not going to earn a cent from it. It's like, great, thanks. Who's going to earn money? Universal Music? Yeah, they probably need it. All right, you know what? I'm going with the Prestige, because I think if we're being honest with ourselves, we saw overwhelmingly in support of the Prestige. And it reminds me of a movie. I'm going to take that off. And I think I can mute this so you don't get a little... Yep, I just muted it. Yep, and it's muted. Not the mic, of course, just the guitar. Oh, my arm. That was my spraying arm today. Oh, mahogany. It's mahogany. Well, that's no, nope. It's so funny about how some guitars have to be a certain, you know, like for that Dan Electro it fit great, but this, no. Yeah, that's a little. Even that's a. Hold on. Oh, much better. It's got to be right. Sorry. That hurt my ears. Sorry. All right, and hold on, I gotta mute this back because I didn't plug it in. All right, we're muting. We're picking it up. We got a little flame on there? I don't think so. Maybe a little bit. All right. And we have to unmute. There we go. That's a good looking top right there, huh? My undershirt's showing there. There we go, that's better. Oh, look who's here. Bobby Bakey. How's that Marshall Origin working for you there, bud? All right, now that Robert's here, we might have to go with a little bit. Hold on. Yeah, you know what? Hold on. Just a little bit more. There we go. Oh, let's see. The bar feels so low. It's working real nice. I love it. Yeah, nice. Nice. Oh. loss on this thing. Ah. Steve, can you talk about your mixer? This one right here? This one? Yeah, it's just an old Tascam digital mixer that I have to use for my voice. See, check Joe. What? Because believe it or not, I cannot plug this directly into the Focusrite. It will not work. It's a long story, but it has to do with phase cancellation and TPS and, you know, TRS, tip ring sleeve, TRS. They should allow for cover songs. You know, they kind of do, but they just take the money. So it's like they don't shut you down. It depends. Sometimes they've shut me. Like I did a Van Halen cover and they muted it. They're like, no. I was like, damn, that's cold. Steve, you know any Joe Satriani licks? Not really. Right there. Like there's a Satriani lick, right? That's such a Satriani riff. If I could get the words out. Something like that. Is it? Yeah, like that. Something like that. Yeah, there it is. Something like that. Something like that. What you done in Germany? Well, we went there and we shot videos. And we ate mainly meat and potatoes. What you like best about Germany? The beer. Good beer. The people were super, super nice. The two main things that Americans are used to that they don't have in pretty much Europe, not just Germany, are air conditioning and ice. Like if you wanted ice in your cup, you got to go to McDonald's. So Summer Nam next? Yeah, Summer Nam next. I'm going to, anyone else going to Summer Nam? No, just me? I was on a flight one time and the pilot was like, he came out, he's like, hey, how's it going? Yeah, yeah. Is this their first flight? No, just me? We were like, all right, enough comedy there. Enough comedy there, Mr. Pilot. Thanks, Peter. What's up, Phil? I have an original ML2 and it weighs a ton. Yeah, I heard those ML2s were very heavy. Are you fond? Oh wait, it's an Ibanez SA worth $200. Depends on the SA. They're all over the place. Are you fond of orange amps? I am. Got to get some orange amps over here. I did a thing with them while I was over there. I will say this: I felt orange amps really took advantage of the Tolman event. Of all the companies that were there, you know, some people did their, you know, went in and used, made sure they did a video with them. But those all, you know, those are all very, I don't know, very clinical. Orange sort of thought outside the box, came up with a fun plan for everybody, and did their own video shooting. And they're going to have a big thing at the end of the year. And you know what? I got to say that those guys, they got it. They, you know, they knew what to do, and they had a plan and they executed it. And you know, hats off to them. No, not an ebony fingerboard, rosewood. They don't do a ton of ebony stuff at Ibanez. I mean, it's out there. They made some high-end what do I call them? J Customs, right? They did some high J Custom work that had ebony, but not a ton. Not a ton with the ebony. What's up, Steve? Have you watched Cobra Kai? I can't say that I have. Sorry. It looks like a lot of people are watching Cobra Kai, though. I'm seeing a lot of responses up there. Orange office is 2 miles from me. Well, nice. When did Ibanez start bolting the neck without a plate? Mid-90s? Mid-90s? Late 90s, right? With the all-access neck joint. With the 4. And they rounded it off. 90-something. But, this is 2002, I think. With a mahogany body on that, though. Nice. Weighs a ton. It's a heavy guitar. You can check it out if you're a fan of Karate Kid. Okay. Finally sponsors Steve K&E Guitars over in Oxnard, California. Great. How thick is the maple cap on the Sarchi? I don't know. 3 mil? No. 5 mil? You can see it right there. What do you think that is? I'd have to get a micrometer on it. Have you ever tried a Slick or Guitar Finish brand guitar? No, I can't say I have. So many guitar brands out there. That's what you find out when you go to, like, you know, the NAMM show or the Dallas Guitar Show. You see so many brands. Like, damn. Hey, Steve, you find yourself missing the Chapman guitar times? I do. I miss that guitar. I really bonded with that thing. That was a nice guitar. That was a nice guitar. You know, listen, I give props where props are due. And that ML1, Pro Modern was a nice guitar. Period. End of story. And and they bring it with that flame top to market. I want to say it's under $1,000. It's like $999. Missed that one by a mile. Best humbuckers for an RG550, Tone Zones, Duncans. I love Duncan. Big fan of Duncan products, but I swear for Ibanez and that basswood body, DiMarzio just seems to be a good fit. So some people think the Tone Zone's a little too a vocal, a little too like a wah, not like a wah, but you know what I'm saying. It's got like a little bit of a vocal quality to it. So try it out if you can. I'm a big fan of Duncan. I got Duncans in this one right here. That's Duncans. It's a 59 and a JB, and I know I have a 59 jazz set at least 2 times or 3 times, or 59 and in a JB. It's always a JB in something, right? I have a full shred in one guitar. I've got a distortion in the one guitar. Krellbar says DiMarzio breed in Ibanez. Could be right. Could be right. I think a buddy of mine he has an old RG 550. I literally sold it to him, I think, 1988. It's like one of those first rounds. And I think he just put the Evo set in it and was really happy with it. Is an RG better than an RT? That's a really loaded question because there's so many different ones out there. Yes and no. So like some RGs are like super killer, like the RG7 series, or the old school 5 series, or even this like the 31 series. Like, so RG is such a wide open letter combination for Ibanez. I mean, they have all kinds of RGs that are not even close to this quality. So it's hard. And RTs are a neck through, right? And that is a different profile. That's definitely, their neck through is a chunkier profile than their bolt-on. Without a doubt, this is a bolt-on. So it really is wide open. I like, and I'm on record on this, I like the series between like 1988 and 1993. That's a window in there where you can't. That's what I call you can't go wrong window. You buy a guitar that's made in that period, and you can't go wrong. They're all made in Japan. They're all made in the Fujigen factory. They're all really nice and high end. And I don't think I have one up here, but I had. It's probably over my. Actually, it's over there. That way. My Ibanez like RG 550s and 560s. Those are killer guitars. Those have really thin necks. You better be in the market for a thin neck. I think Nita's using 5's Gravity Storms. I may be wrong. Yeah, maybe. I think we can see that 6 in line 3 aside is he's back a little bit, right? Commenting on the plate of food and the beer. There's always someone lagging behind going, Steve, do you think with all the new guitar manufacturers coming out that is hurting Fenders and Gibsons of the world? Well, anytime you have increased competition, you know, you're going to have to step your game up. That's just the nature of business. I don't know. You know, Fender seems to be able to, guitar sales, they say, are up. And, it could be just one of those things where, you know, YouTube is pushing the sales of instruments now more than anything else, because it's the place you can go. I mean, I think for a while it was, you know, just straight up artists. And then for a while it was like forums, right? Like huge forums. People would go to forums for like all the 2000s and for like really the last 20 years or so. And then that's really turned to like YouTube, places like that. So I like the competition because it tends to drive prices down, but you don't want so much competition that nobody can make money and it's always here today, gone later today. We don't need that much churn in the market. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Guitar sales are, electric guitar sales are up. I thought they said like 11% year over year. So that's always good. Hey, thanks, Alzar. Thoughts on Ibanez S470 and RG470? My S is Korean, the RG is Japanese. That RG is a nicer guitar. But you know, the S470 isn't a bad guitar. And they had a pretty good Korean factory, but it's not as nice as the Japanese factory. Japanese factory is just you got to remember, Ibanez never made any of these guitars themselves. They don't have their own factory other than the LA Custom Shop, which makes only a handful of guitars a year. They job everything out, and their jobber for Japanese guitars was Fujigen, and Fujigen is just a really good guitar maker. They made a lot of stuff for Fender too. So I think the S470 a little bit more hit or miss. They're both great guitars, and I like the S series and I like the RG series. But I'll tell you this, that I think from head to toe, you're going to find that RG470 is just a little nicer across the board because it was made in the Fujigen factory. And those guys just know, they know what they're doing. Matsumoto Moku Aria made Pro 2s are nice. Yeah, you know, if they the big tell with that brand back in the years, they always put steel reinforced neck on their back plates. My Aria says that, steel reinforced neck. They did that for years in the 70s. But I still think Fujigen's the one to beat, for quality out of the Japanese market. They just seem to have their processes down. Which I look for an Ibanez SA series. Well, the SA series is a little trickier because I don't think, did they ever do an SA out of Japan? I don't think they did. I want to say that those are all Indonesian or Korean. Well, those two, you might find better quality out of the Indonesian. Again, Korea is just, they tended to be more hit or miss. I found the same thing with Fender. The Korean Fenders were a little bit more hit or miss, where I thought their Indonesian Squire stuff was actually pretty damn good. I don't think I have the Aria out right now. I'm going to do a video where I show all my guitars. We'll do that at some point. Bring back Aria Pro 2, I know, right? Charvel San Dimas. They had a Charvel San Dimas. I think they had a 2 pickup SoCal It was on there for like $3.99. I mean, that's cheap. That is cheap for that guitar. I almost just impulse purchased it, and I held off. It was gone like several hours later. I kept checking back, going, "Don't tempt me. I'll buy it. I'll do it." And then finally I checked back and said, "Oh, it's gone." All right, there's that. Yeah, I agree, Mark. Mark says he's got 3 Strats, and they're some of his nicest guitars. I agree. I had the same reaction. I have one of my oldest Strat that I've owned continuously. I have Strats that are older, but I haven't owned them. I've only acquired them in the last few years. But I have one Strat that I bought brand new off the shelf in like '89, and it's a Japanese made, ST54, right? They're classic 54 series, and I love it. I think the pickups were just sort of meh, and I wound up putting not Lindy Fralins. What did I wind up going with? I think I have Lace Sensor Holy Grails in it. I love it. I love it. What? Right, one's bent and one's slid. Ow. James says, "You play much slide? If so, or even if not, which slide plays do you really rate?" Well, my favorite slide player is Joey Landreth. God, I love his playing, man. He's a slide freaking master. But other than him, of course, all the classics. Your Almonds and no. But Derek Trucks, obviously. But yeah, I'm a big Joey Landreth fan. I think that guy, first of all, he can sing his ass off. He's an amazing singer. And secondly, he's got some of the best slide techniques with harmonics and ghost notes and all kinds of stuff. I'm like, damn, that's some next level shit right there. So, big thumbs up on Joey. And I have his last album, Whiskey or something like that. Yeah, not Sonny. I like the other brother. Sonny Landreth is good, but not. I like Joey. I like Joey's playing. Steve, not to start YouTube drama, but do you know if Shane has an issue with Henning? Well, I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of. Most of us seem to just get along. I just picked up a Diamond Monarch a couple of weeks ago. Awesome guitar, right? The Diamond guitars? Pretty low cost. I like my Diamond. At first, I didn't like, I thought it was a little bright, but I was wrong. I think I just had, I think the strings on it were a little bright. Once I put a set of clear tones on it, it was fine. I was like, oh yeah. I put up probably a heavier gauge. It was probably a little jangly when I got it because it had a lighter gauge string than I like. And my initial impression was like, oh, this is bright there. And then you put a nice set of strings on it, you're like, oh, well, maybe I was wrong about that because I'm just not thinking about that, you know. But that was probably my issue when I first got it. But I love mine. I love mine. What's up, Puerto Rico? Guy's a riff master. They set up the Diamonds with 9s. That makes sense. I play 10s as my lightest, and this is 11s. So it's 11 through a 49. Stevie, you're a fan of Avenged Sevenfold? No, I don't know. I'm so lame on bands, man. I'm so freaking lame. Though I have to say, I got that new Skindred CD in the Rotosound bag. I threw that in. It's sort of a rock, funk, you know, like reggae sort of mix. I kind of dug it. I had it going in my headphones when I was mowing the lawn. You know, it was a good little groove. See this 6 in line 3 aside just got to the Kinder egg. See what? You see what's going on? You see that? He just got to the Kinder egg part. It's funny to watch someone who's lagging behind by about an hour. Tips for finding a good music teacher. Yeah, you know, you try and find someone with a good rep. You know, that can be tricky. And I've seen some ghastly teachers out there impart their shitty skills onto their students, which is, you know, it doesn't feel right. You know, you remember there's no licensing to become a music teacher, unlike an electrician or a plumber. So you don't have to meet a certain level of quality to be able to do it. I don't know. I guess, you know, the main thing is just to stick with someone who you think sounds like the type of person you want to play like, right? I mean, if you go to someone and they're going, you know, you're going to say, huh, that sounds like crap. I wouldn't want to play like that. You know, we had the teachers that were... And you just want to carve your ear balls out with sharp daggers. That's what happens. And so you want to try and find somebody, you know, who's got a decent rep. And again, when you listen to them play, you say, well, that sounds right. That sounds like the way I want to play myself. You know, it's tricky. I'm telling you right now, it's tricky because, like I said, there's no licensing. Anyone can just hang a shingle and say, yeah, I'm a guitar teacher. And you can waste time and money with them. And you know what? If you don't feel like you're connecting, if you don't feel like your playing's improving, just dump them and move on to somebody else. That's probably... It's not going to be without paying a little bit of money, though, unfortunately. Steve from Route 84 West. Nice. That's way out there. exactly. Oh, my earballs. Steve, did you get a chance to try the iPad iOS on the Hughes Kettner 40 Deluxe amp? No, but I have it. It's right here. See that box right there? That's it. I got the foot switch going now. I'm having fun with that. One thing at a time, but I'll get it going. And that'll actually work with mine, unlike that Shure microphone I got. Because it'll work even with my old crappy iPad, which is always a good thing. Good old Methuen, Mass. Oh my God, is it 8:48 already? Holy Christ. I mean, this night, I swear to God, this night has flown by. Where did we peak out at? 3:47? Not bad. Not bad. Steve, today I went to Walmart and bought a $9 toaster and a bag of socks. Is my life over? Yes. Yes, it is. Your life now has been reduced to celebrating a $9 toaster and a bag of socks from Walmart. That's the part they don't tell you about when you're growing up. It's all going to be jet setting, and then you're checking out at Walmart with a $9 toaster and a bag of socks, and then someone behind you goes, "This is as good as it gets," and you're like, "Ah!" Steve, what strings do you use to give a two-bright guitar a better low-end bass sound? Thicker strings will do it. Thicker strings tend to give you a little bit more body, to a point. There'll be one point where and then they'll get too tight, right, to get the right sound. So give a little bit more bass. I'd probably use a slightly thicker string, and I would detune. Instead of being E standard, go down to E flat or even D. And it will sound heavier. It really will. Did you buy a set of reading glasses? No, these are my vision is pretty shitty, other than a tiny plane about this far away from my nose. It runs out, it's like out of focus and out of focus again. That's pretty much how my eyesight works at this point. So these are graduated bifocals. Yatch. So I got the I can see the close up and I can see the far away. I tell you, I wore contact lenses one time. We went out to dinner and I could not read that menu because I had my contacts in. I couldn't read the menu, and I was there with my friend and I was like, I literally can't read this menu. And he's like, well, what can you do? I said, well, I got to take my contacts out, but then I'm not going to be able to see much beyond the menu. And that's exactly what I did. I took the contacts out, and when I got back to my car, I actually had a spare set of glasses in the car. I could just wear those for the ride home. But damn, yeah, once I get like contacts in, I do need reading glasses. These are bifocals. Because you know why? Getting old sucks. Literally what happened is your eyeball just gets firmer and it just can't focus anymore because it's a decrepit old meatball in your eye socket now. Yeah, the show is actually, yeah, it's longer on the inside. It's the TARDIS effect. Or retardus, as the case may be. Well, thanks, Aaron. Aaron likes the look of the basement. I had Bobby was over. He's like, I can't believe what you did down here. He's like, it really does look pro. I'm like, I know. John, see, you're the level-headed friend I never had. John says, just take one contact out. See, where were you, John? Where were you that night? Okay, bro? I could have used you. My friend was like, caught off guard. He's like, I don't know. Steve, do you have any Japanese Yamahas? I do not. Well, I do like the Yamahas. The Yamaha made a really high-end one in the early 90s. Like, really nice. 4 hours to try. To watch Baby Metal on Monday? Nice. They have a new tune out. I just heard it the other day. I just got a notice that Steel Panther is playing in like 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks. I could go to Steel Panther, I guess. I've just been to them so many times now. And I got the... see, if I go to Steel Panther, that's $65 I could be spending on barbecue at... I should save it for barbecue, right? And go to, whatchamacallit, when I'm at NAMM. Gotta hit the barbecue places. Thanks, Metal God, man. Rock on, buddy. We're almost out of here. Jesus, we got 6 minutes to go. Mixer, you're killing me. I'm almost 47 and I find my eyesight getting bad tough when you're a pickup winder. Yeah, right? Right? I mean, am I the only one that has that stupid ass giant head hood? Like a welder's mask, but really it's so you can see the crap in your hands when you're working on it. Yeah. What a drag it is getting old, man. D minor. Yeah, you gotta do Tobacco Road once in a while. Just remind myself. What guitar is that, model and year? This is a 2001, which means it wasn't on the market. So here's the thing you need to know about Ibanez. When it says like 01, it means the guitar was like made in 01, but it didn't hit the market till 02. They seem to build everything a year in advance. So I think this was on the market in 2002, and it's only in the 2002 catalog. And this is the Deep Red DR. So it's RG 3120, right? RG 3120. And then DR for Deep Red. They made a blue one, which was killer. I forget the name of it. It's like a teal blue. And I want to say they did like an antique violin sunburst that was freaking gorgeous. They have a couple of colors that are pretty slick. But I like the red. I was always a fan of the red. I got this for such short money. Again, it had a big ding in the back of the neck that I just filled in with epoxy. It's like you can't even feel it anymore. Problem solved. But yeah, this was like, if I remember correctly, I want to say it was $4.99. which is a steal for this guitar. This guitar, you know, I haven't seen one since even close to that. I was looking to get maybe the blue version, but I can't find one less than $800-900, $1,000. So I know $499 for this. Again, it was Guitar Center used, and it had a big giant divot in the back of the neck, and I think that was the don't return it price at $499. All right, dudes, 8:58. I should probably wrap this up. Yeah, this is low pro edge. That's low pro. You can see how low it is and how pro it is. This guitar does sound good. All right, 8:59. Here we go. Yeah. All right, guys. No, you rock. No, you rock, Larry. I think we're gonna wrap it up like a burrito. Got to work on my analogies. And what's that blue Strat on the wall? That's a Japanese-made '65 reissue with bound rosewood neck. But that's a story for another day. All right, here we go. I'm scrolling up, guys. I'm scrolling up. And we're hitting. I'm getting to the stop streaming button. It says I've only been live for 1 hour and 46 minutes. That can't be right. I started. I've been going 2 hours. What the what? Anyway. All right, dudes. No, you rock. No, you're awesome. As always, thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun. I always tell when I have fun because the night. When I look at the clock and it's like, you know, 7:20, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long night. But I looked at the clock and it was like 8:48. So, pretty good. All right, guys. As always, thanks so much for hanging out. I'll have more stuff coming up in the coming weeks. Plenty of TGU 18 stuff and a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's going to be awesome. And you rock. And there you go. I'm out of words. I'm officially out of words. So, as always, thanks so much for hanging out, and rock on.